Like, none of these things are anything you want to have all the time, but it's 420, let's celebrate. You probably got your taxes done, right? So let's go ahead and celebrate with some good vegan junk food. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As you know, Saturday is 420, so I wanted to talk a little bit more about vegan snacks and which ones you wouldn't expect to be vegan and which ones are my favorite. I was thinking about actually doing a recipe for this episode, but who am I kidding? On 420, no one wants to cook. Okay, let's just jump right into it. The first category I want to talk about are chips. So I love chips. I love anything that's salty and sweet, and I love crunch. So I try not to keep chips in the house, especially now since I'm cutting my weight. But you don't have to stick to just the basic chips when you're vegan. There's a lot of flavors that you can indulge in. So let's start with Doritos. I used to love Doritos, of course. Who didn't love like the ranch Doritos growing up? But the ones that are vegan now are the sweet chili ones, which are okay. They're not my favorite, but I love the Blaze ones. The Blaze ones are super delicious. They have a nice heat to it, so if you like spice, it is a good, I guess, like replacement for like hot Cheetos and stuff. The Blaze Doritos are a really good option, but I know a lot of people who like the sweet chili ones. There's also the original Sun Chips, which are really good. Again, like I wish the garden vegetable or the garden spice one is really, one's my favorite, but it's not a vegan flavor yet, so I don't know why the frick I'm talking about it. Kendall brand chips are also really good for having vegan flavors, and ones that you wouldn't expect to be vegan, which is really cool. So they have a maple bacon one, which I personally haven't tried, but that sounds delicious. I would love to try that, but that's definitely a good option. I love their jalapeno chips. Those are like my favorite chips ever. Most brand chips, their salt and vinegar flavors and their barbecue flavors are usually vegan. So just check on the back to double check, but those are usually some good go-tos. Of course, Lay's, the classic one, is vegan, but also the lemon flavor is vegan. So if you like that, that's definitely an option. If you're looking for a healthier version of like chips, pop chips are always an option. Most of the flavors are not vegan, unfortunately, because I like the crazy hot one, but that one has milk powder in it, so what you gonna do? But you can stick to the original, and those are a-okay. Let's talk about savory snacks on 420. So before I went vegan, one of my favorite things, and I feel like all my friends could vouch for this, was the cheese roll-up from Taco Bell. So one of my favorite things to do is take like a tortilla, and you can get a healthier version, like I like the carb balance ones. Then sprinkle some vegan cheese on it, and then just pop it in the microwave for 30 minutes to a minute. Roll it up, and you have your own little cheese roll-up from Taco Bell. I love doing that. It's fast. It only takes like a minute at the most with the microwave, depending on the vegan cheese and how easy it is to melt. I kind of keep a tiny little stash of the Taco Bell hot sauces, the ones that are vegan. By the way, the fire one is not vegan or even vegetarian. It has beef broth in it, so make sure to avoid that, but all the other sauces at Taco Bell are vegan. So I keep the Diablo one in my kitchen, so when I make the cheese roll-ups, I just eat it with the Taco Bell sauce, and it's like real Taco Bell. A little bit healthier, obviously. Another great option, obviously, even when you go to any restaurant, is chips and guac, and who doesn't love chips and guac? Then, of course, there's mac and cheese. Who doesn't love good mac and cheese? So my favorite brand is Amy's for this. You can, if you're craving something more like Kraft mac and cheese from the box, they have two vegan mac and cheeses that are really good. I can't really tell a difference between them. And I always add a little bit more nooch to the sauce, so it's like extra cheesy. Sometimes I add garlic salt. But the Amy's frozen mac and cheese is like my favorite, my all-time favorite vegan mac and cheese so far. I love putting it in the oven, and then like the cheese kind of gets melty and the noodles kind of get like, not really hard, but you know, there's like a little crunch to them. I love that. It's so good. It does take a little bit of time in the oven, but it's so worth it. One of the best mac and cheeses I've had in general from like a frozen, because TV dinners as a kid, I remember the mac and cheeses always sucked, but this one is like spot on. So Ritz are also vegan. Another thing I like to eat just like by the handful are those bacon bits. Those are really good. I like snacking on those, or like tiny chips, like chips for hipsters. Last thing I want to mention, because I love these, it's another thing I can't keep in the house because I'll just eat them as soon as I get them, are the Gardein chicken sliders. So good. And they only take a few minutes in the microwave, and then you have like perfect junk food. So let's talk about vegan frozen pizza. So I don't know if pizza is ever gonna stop being my favorite food. I don't think it will, but I'm obsessed with pizza. It's probably like my go-to junk food or like cheat day meal, because it's pizza. What else is there to say? So let's talk about a few frozen pizzas that I really enjoy that are usually more accessible. The Daiya Pizzas, they're okay. They're not my favorite. They're probably my last go-to option, but it's nice because they do have mock meats. They have a lot of different variations. So if you're feeling like spinach and mushroom, they have one of those. I'm personally not a fan of Daiya in general. Like, I appreciate that they are easy to get and they are available at a lot of restaurants. Like, I appreciate that they're leading the way for vegan cheese. But it's definitely my least favorite brand, taste-wise. I love Amy's. Amy's is always like a go-to. They have amazing vegan options. But their spinach pizza is like my all-time favorite at home, like frozen pizza. It's delicious. The cheese is made out of tofu, and it's really good. Like, you would not expect it to be out of tofu, and you know what, extra protein, so it's a win-win, right? Amy's also has that cheeseless pizza with the roasted veggies, and that one is super good too. Like, their crust is really nice on that one. Let's talk about sweets, because there are a lot of sweets you would not expect to be vegan. It's so good. Okay, gummies or like fruit snacks are one of my guilty pleasures. Fruit snacks are one of my guilty pleasures. Like, I love them. I can't control myself around them pretty much. They're so delicious. So my favorite are Gushers, obviously, but the whole, like, I don't know what you would call them, General Mills gummies are usually vegan. So the Fruit by the Foot, Fruit roll-ups, and Gushers, they are all vegan. Another thing you wouldn't expect to be vegan are Unfrosted Pop-Tarts. So the thing that makes Pop-Tarts unvegan is only like the frosting glaze that they put on top, which is they're not even vegetarian because I think they have gelatin in them. So they're totally no-goes. But the unfrosted varieties, even though they're not as good, obviously, they are still vegan, so that's an option if you just want to grab something and go. Cracker Jacks are vegan, another great option. This is something I posted on my Instagram. I don't really want to make a video about it because it's such a lame recipe. It's not even a recipe, but if you take some vegan cinnamon rolls, by the way, the ones that are vegan are the Trader Joe brand and Amy's. I like Trader Joe's a little bit better, so I usually get Trader Joe's. I unroll the whole cinnamon roll packet. Like, I don't separate them. I keep it all in one clump, unroll it, and then I take some vegan cream cheese and some Oreos, mash those up together, spread the little Oreo cream cheese like on the inside of all of the cinnamon rolls, then roll it back up, then cut them, and you have amazing Oreo cinnamon rolls. I took them camping before. Like, I made them ahead of time, then like wrapped them up, and they were so good. Like, they're good cold, they're good warm. Like, you can't go wrong with these. They're so good. So obviously, since I brought up Oreos are vegan. There's something that a lot of people who are not vegan don't know that, but I feel like a lot of vegans know that's, like, you know, that's a safe food. Same thing with Oreos. I feel like they're cousins. Oreos and Nutter Butters. I feel like they go together really well. Nutter Butters are so convenient too because you can get them anywhere, like Oreos. At a gas station, at the airport. They're usually my go-to thing to snack on because they're not as sweet as Oreos, and it's peanut butter, so I feel it's not necessarily healthier, but, you know, it makes me feel better that I'm getting some kind of protein, I guess. Now, candy. My favorite vegan candies. Airheads. By far, Airheads are my favorite. I love Airheads. I remember as a kid going to our school store that opened up after like school. So after school, this little window would open up and you can go and buy snacks, and they're super cheap. I think like a bag of chips was like 75 cents, and each little individual Airhead was a quarter. So I'd always have a quarter after school and go get a blue raspberry Airhead. Sour Patch Kids, another like favorite since I found out about them. I think I didn't start really eating Sour Patch Kids until high school, but after my first bag, I ate them all the time. And you can't really go wrong with those either. Another thing I used to love as a kid, like other than Airheads, my other thing that I loved were Reese's peanut butter cups. Oh my god. But obviously Reese's are not vegan. So I found Justin's brand. Then they're the brand that has all those like really good nut butters. They have the flavored nut butters that are really good. But their peanut butter cups, even though I don't like dark chocolate, their dark chocolate ones are vegan and they're really good. The last category I have are vegan ice creams. There are quite a bit on the market now. My favorite is obviously, you can't go wrong with Ben & Jerry's. Their peanut butter and cookies one is so good. It doesn't feel like a vegan ice cream. I know it kind of does have like this almond milk taste, but because there's so much stuff jacked into it, you don't even really care because you're still getting all the cookies and brownies and everything else that are in it. So definitely a good option. I really love the So Delicious brand. The So Delicious ice cream, though, the cookie dough one is off the freaking chain. They have so much cookie dough in there. But since I've been cutting weight, the ice cream I've been really gravitating towards is the Halo ice creams. I remember I was really into them before I went vegan, but they only had like 5 or so flavors at the time. So now there's so many flavors, and they added some non-dairy options, and they're so good. Well, actually, their non-dairy options actually are hit or miss. I've had ones where I really was not a fan. And the thing about Halo, it's always gonna taste a little artificial. So you have to kind of get over that, but the fact that you can eat the whole carton for like 320 calories for most of the cartons, it kind of beats the fact that it doesn't taste like full fat ice cream. Thank you guys for watching. These were my favorite 420 binge-worthy snacks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a comment below on which one is your favorite vegan snack, or something that I didn't mention that you think is really noteworthy. I would love to hear about it. And also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!